Guys, I don't know what keeps happening. Keep getting notification from TikTok saying, I need to the live has ended. I don't know what keeps happening. Keep getting notification from TikTok saying, I need to the live has ended because it's getting really frustrating. The live just keeps getting ended by TikTok, and they keep sending me notifications saying live is ending. I don't know what is going on. Kyle, are you here? Are you here, Kyle? Kyle, are you here? Are you here, Kyle? Kyle, ever since you left, we've been having problems. Kyle, you need to come back. Ever since you left, we've been having problems with, I don't know what's happening with this, ever since you left, we've been having problems with, I don't know what's happening with this, it just keeps getting ended, and I keep getting notification from TikTok saying your life, is ending. I'm not sure what the problem is. I'm not sure if, I don't even know what is happening. Because I've never had this before. I keep getting these messages saying the live is ending. And I haven't ended the live. It's really, really frustrating, to be honest. Let's try again. Guys, sorry for this. This is even more than technical difficulties. This is technical calamity, because I'm not sure what's happening with the. It just keeps getting disconnected. Could it be someone is actually reporting the live? Because I don't even know, because I've never had this before where TikTok keeps sending me messages saying the live is ending. It's really frustrating now. I don't even know what to do. Anyway, D, do you want to come up again so that I'm not sure where Kyle is? We need to beg Kyle to come back, but because since she left, we've been having issues on the platform because it keeps getting taken down. Or maybe, yes, you're right. Maybe TikTok has a problem. I'm not sure because I keep getting notification, saying the live is ending. Maybe, not sure what the problem is. Maybe it's because we spent so much time on the platform. Because yesterday we were on from about 10 till about half past. We're here from 10 till about half past 5 in the morning, and then we've continued again from 8 a.m. today. So I'm not sure whether that's the problem. And also, we need to sort out these issues with the moderators because it's not helping the platform. We cannot have moderators, fighting amongst themselves. It's just not productive. That's something we need to address as well.
Hello, guys. Please remember to tap. Yeah, it's either someone. I don't. If you're being reported, it will tell you what you went against. So if you don't have that, then there might be a glitch.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be technical issues or whatever. It's so
Yeah.
annoying though. Oh, let's try again. Hopefully, third time lucky.
I'm sorry to say something. Before, I don't know what happened. I left. But before I left, I think one of the guys wanted to add to what I said. I didn't quite get what was said. What was said about what my comment.
I think it was Papa. He's back now. I think we'll
Yeah.
we'll go through the order that we have. Unless curated you're modern, let me know because I'll come down for other people.
No, you're free. You're free to mod. I haven't actually given my submission. And
Yeah.
yet the host
You're
is right. We need to sort out this issue with the moderators because I literally came in and I've been quiet. I've not even said anything, and somehow I'm being removed when I'm not even saying anything, and I'm just waiting for my turn.
yeah. Carl needs to come up. Host, I don't know if you can get through to Carl, but 3 minutes to speak, guys, so we can go through everyone, then we can all integrate and talk. We'll start with curated and then we'll go on. Thank you, guys.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I've been listening to the conversation for the past 3 lives, I guess, that we've had now because they keep ending. And what are my thoughts? I think what it made me realize, and when I'm hearing South Africans say things like, oh, our resources are being, are being stretched out and it's not getting to the citizens, it just made me realize that this is why it's important for Africa to grow together, right? Because if you look at most African countries, there was a time where Ghana was prospering and Nigerians wanted to be there and Nigerians were migrating there. And at some point, the Ghanaian economy, began to decline and they began to blame those foreigners. Likewise, in Nigeria, there was a time Nigeria was prospering, and a lot of Africans, Ghanaians, people from Togo, Benin, Niger, Cameroon, all these countries were flocking to Nigeria for opportunities. And, at some point, the Nigerian economy began to decline and we began to blame foreigners. And the same thing is happening in South Africa. So I think like with the EU, like with Europe, yeah, they made it a point. Obviously, they're not all equal, but they made it a point to grow together, And I think if Africa is able to do this, because right now everyone is like, oh, we just need to focus on our own thing right now. We need to do our own thing right now. But I think that's the mistake. I think if each country, if Kenya said, okay, we're going to, really go hard on tourism and be the tourist capital for Africa, if Nigeria said we're going to be the industrial hub for Africa, if Egypt said we're going to be, and we all worked towards those goals and we all were doing our own things like individually but collectively, then no one would be flocking to just one country at one given period, hoping to make it in that country. And then in 10 years, that country goes down and we're moving to the next country. Because I think that's partly what's to blame, because we all keep saying, oh, Nigeria is so bad right now, but there was a time Nigeria was so good. There was a time our education system was the best in Africa. There was a time when people from other countries were coming to our universities, where University of Nsukka was. Sorry. Where University of Nsukka was. Sorry. I don't know where that crying was coming from.
Oh gosh, there's an echo.
I don't know where that crying was coming from. Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's an echo.
I don't know where that crying was coming from.
Okay, curator, come down and come back up, please. Oh my gosh, my mum is like talking in the background. Okay. Thank you, curated. We're gonna go to Wendy.
Curated, what happened to your baby?
I already said my part, I think, but I had something to say to, I don't want to pronounce the name wrong. I don't know if it's Piseho or, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, so sorry. Wait, sorry, I wasn't on my submission. I don't know. That wasn't my baby. I don't know where that came from.
Okay,
it wasn't. It was someone else that just joined. So sorry, just summarize my points. I think, yeah, we can all see, Nigeria is so horrible right now, but there was a time the Nigerian education system was the best. There was a time our hospitals were the best, because I've heard a lot of South Africans say, oh, your healthcare is this, your healthcare is that. There was a time that Arabs were coming to Nigeria for treatments. There was a time we had the best doctors, the best hospitals in Africa, in West Africa. There was a time we had the best education system. The former head of the ICC, I've forgotten her name, a Cameroonian woman, she got her LLB in Nigeria. So there was a time our universities were literally world standard. And obviously, due to bad governance and corruption, those institutions have fallen off. But my point is, Nigerians then could have said, oh, why are you guys all coming to enjoy our education system and our healthcare system and da-da-da-da. But nothing lasts forever. Now that's changed. So now that South Africa is enjoying some level of stability and good infrastructure, I don't think the attitude should be, oh, you guys just need to go back to your own countries and fix I think if we collectively work together and build our nations collectively, and I think Nigeria does a good job in doing that. If you take Dangote, for instance, Dangote has invested heavily in South Africa. He's invested millions, if not billions, in South Africa and trying to, expand his operations to South Africa. So my point is, if we all grow collectively, then there won't just be one hub at any given time where everyone wants to flock to and try and make their money in that country. But yeah, that's my submission.
Thank you, Curated. Thank you so much. Okay, Wendy, go ahead.
Yes, so I wanted to say to Pisa, the anger that as South Africans that we have now, it's because we are dealing with this thing firsthand, and it's easy to judge from far because you don't know what we are really dealing with. I do hear what you say you feel, but if you were in our shoes, you will also feel the same way. And I'm still stating my point that we are not fighting against immigration. We are talking about illegal immigration, because if you do everything legal, then means you are registered. You have the right to be in that country. I hope she got my point.
Yeah, thank you, Wendy. Peace can reply back when it's her turn. Christella.
Hi everyone. I was actually liking and then I actually got on here. I don't know where the conversation started from, but as far as I can see where it's going, I think at this point I wanna ask the Nigerians that, are you guys also then acknowledging our cries? Are they valid, or we just making noise? Because it seems like the previous lady who was here the first time before we went off twice, Ginny, she raised valuable points. And unfortunately, Papa kept saying that our government should not allow people who are here illegally not to be here. But unfortunately, we have Ubuntu. We cannot just chase a child who needs an education away. And at the end of the day, we are suffering. So if Nigerians do the right thing, right by their people, we're not saying that people who need to come here should not come here, but do it correctly. I wouldn't mind if the Congolese people were here, where there was like a large influx of them because they are fleeing a war, whether they are not documented or they are documented. But if everyone just wants to come here because of the health system, the education, and just trying to make it big here, it's really, really weighing on us. And unfortunately, as South Africans, our biggest fear is that if anything happens to our country, we don't like going into people's countries. Where are we going to go? We won't. Even if Nigeria was like the best country in Africa, we would want to visit and see how it is, but we wouldn't want to live there permanently. Because if we wanted to, I would also look into applying for jobs overseas, but just the thought of not being here at home, I don't like it. Whether there's better opportunities that side, I don't want it. We love our home. So I hear that we keep on saying stuff, but it feels like you guys are looking for loopholes in what we say, and you're not acknowledging our pain. Thank you.
Thank you, Christella. Oh, if you hear my mum in the background, I'm sorry, guys. Just quickly, there are definitely Nigerians that understand what you are going through. I think it's just a very volatile situation that is happening. Okay. Peace, go ahead. Peace.
Hello.
Thank
Hi.
you.
I'm sorry, guys. It's morning at my end, so I'm just trying to do one or two things. So yeah, let me start from the last lady. So she's like, Nigerians really validating their points and their pleas. I think I, as a Nigerian, I understand when you have a problem, you have a group of people who come there and then succeed. However, they did it. It could be illegal or legal. It's a problem, and you have to notice it. Okay, now my take is, if you think that you know a Nigerian that is doing something that is wrong, report them to the authorities. We have what we call in Nigerian neighborhood watch since the insurgents started in Nigeria. You have what is called neighborhood watch, whistleblowers. If you know somebody that is doing this thing, blow whistle. Do you get me? Report them by all means. Some of you have heard some people say, oh, we don't want to deport them because it's taxpayers' money they'll use in deporting them. You want to jail them, life imprisonment, whatever it is you want to do. In the Arab nations, they're doing it. Whatever laws work within that your geopolitical location, you have the jurisdiction to do whatever you want to do with them, because it's your country, it's your laws. They should abide by it. So if your law is, oh, when we catch someone with powder or peddling these things, you're caught wanting, you're going to jail, you're going to be jailed for so years, or it's life imprisonment, whatever punishment is there, please apply it to them. Do you understand? We're not saying don't if you see a Nigerian do wrong thing. I don't think I've been in a platform and I've heard any Nigerian say, oh, if you catch any Nigerian found in illegal transaction or caught doing something wrong, don't kill them or please forgive them and all of that. No, I don't think I've heard that personally, and I don't think I advocate for that. I advocate for the fact that if you've caught someone, deal with the person squarely and not generalize and call the name of the country. One person did something, you say, oh, that's a Nigerian. That's a Nigerian. That's how they are. All of them, they're drug peddlers, they're this, they're that. Because I am actually earning an honest living. I've worked for everything I've earned in this life, and I give it to God and my family. So I wouldn't want anyone to point me black. Do you understand? Just because I'm a Nigerian? No. So let us, like, I mean, you guys, it won't be fair if we say you, all of you are drug peddlers or are drug addicts. Do you get? I mean, I hear some people say that, but it's because they are like, it's a boomerang attack. You say this things to Nigerians, there are one people that will not bounce back or will not fight back. So if you've caught them, please report them to the authorities or ask them what your laws there say. And not, that's my acknowledgement. That's my acknowledgement. That's the way of Nigerian. Who is interrupting me, please? If I have 5 minutes, let me finish and submit.
I'm hearing
My
an echo.
acknowledgement is interrupting me, please. If I have 5 minutes, let me finish and submit.
I'm hearing
My
an echo.
acknowledgement is interrupting me,
I
please.
think the echo happened because when Palesaki came in, her mic was muted. Peace, go on.
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry, please.
I'm so sorry,
please
D.
round
I'm
up.
not
Thank
So sorry,
you.
D.
If they do something wrong,
I'm not trying to take over.
report
Wait,
them.
sorry, Peace. One moment. D, I'm not trying to take over, but when someone comes in, sometimes if their mic isn't muted, it causes an echo and stuff. So if someone comes in, just mute their mic quickly so that it doesn't cause the echo. Because that's what I did. I muted everyone but Peace, and the echo stopped. So Peace, go on. I'm gonna mute myself now.
Okay, that makes sense. So a quick one, let me just sum it. So Nigerians are acknowledging the fact that some of us do evil things everywhere in the world, but if they are caught doing it, please arrest them and deal with them squarely. UK have been having issues with some Nigerians doing illegal stuff. They arrest them, they do stuff with them. It hasn't stopped UK government and Nigerian government doing business going forward. It hasn't stopped UK government from unpicking Nigerian nurses and doctors from Nigeria. Do you understand me? Because they believe that there are some of us that are good and there's nothing you can do about that. So deal with them squarely and stop stereotyping the nation, Nigeria. Like, it's actually painful. That's my point. Again, talking back at the other, responding to the other lady, I don't have a problem with you guys speaking up for your country, but can you also can you use the term immigrants and not single out Nigerians? I mean, we could be the majority of the people causing problems in your country, but I think the term immigrant will go well. I mean, it will describe the situation, because you cannot tell me that squarely Nigerians are the people committing all the atrocities in South Africa. They're the ones selling. Before you can even be a drug pin in another, a powder pin or a peddler in another man's land, you should have the cartel and the people that move this thing. If you see the chain, like, I mean, in movies, if you are people that watch South American movies, if you see the cartel and the chain, you will realize that people in government are even, some people in government, top people in government, are involved in these things. So single out, like calling a particular group of people, I don't think is the best. I'm just saying that I find it really, really offensive and I don't like it, seriously. And it has made me, I have a friend here that is in South Africa and we help them settle, but I've been very, very careful with them and all of that, because I don't even know what's going on in their mind. I'm sorry, but that's my take. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, hi. Curated. Can I go ahead, please?
Oh, hi. I don't know what happened to D. Yeah, Papa,
She
please go
says she
ahead.
can't get back up. Okay, okay. Thank you. So Christella, you mentioned something before, and I promise you, I as a Nigerian, I personally, I love South Africans for a whole lot of reasons. I've had some of my best childhood music come from South Africa. That's Brenda Fassie. I've learned so much, maybe not as much as I hope I would have. And I also understand the plight that South Africans are currently experiencing. I'm not trying to downplay whatever issues that you have, neither am I trying to ignore all those things. The main reason why I keep saying stuff about the responsibilities of the government is because if you were following, especially in the comments, there were lots of South Africans that kept saying stuff about Nigerians are responsible for the powder problem, that we should go back to our country. They don't want to see us. They're going to force us out. They will use force if they have to. All sort of things. And like, I'm not going to use the X word, for example. I'm not going to say the full thing, but the X word, it tends to be like a mentality towards that particular term. You know, when there are issues, we should prefer reasonable solutions that would affect both our societies positively. Now, I don't think the problem of illegal immigrants, like we just said, no one should be involved in anything illegal. And Nigeria currently has is currently the most populous country in, I think, in Africa. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's almost natural that you expect that the percentage of people that travel out of there, and this, you will have a sizable amount in your country as well. Now, when there are particular issues like the schooling system, which I addressed before, I'm still going to label it on the government. Maybe people don't understand the realities of, or the realities and the responsibilities of a particular government for its people. It is very important that if you're not holding your government accountable, those problems will keep reoccurring. And when Peace was mentioning something about you should report, quite all right. I know there are different communities in South Africa, for example, but then it still boils down to, if the government is not doing something, that is not doing something about it, but you can choose to help the government or to bring them down to their knees to actually address that problem, not you going to attack other people like we've seen in the past. Nigeria had this particular history before, like you rightly mentioned, where it was even so bad that they named a particular bag, Ghana must go bag, because it happened to us as well. I think the long and short of it is the fact that a lot, I'm not saying all South Africans, but the fact that South Africans keep labeling this thing as a Nigerian problem is actually where the problem is. And it's what drives people to be so violent towards them. The last time something X happened in South Africa, it's even included people that were not Nigerians that became casualties as a result of these things. So if we're going to look at issues from a point of view, should be about solving them, not you saying no one should come into your country. It's not possible for you not to have legal immigrants. That's another issue. But legal immigrants should be tackled where the issue is. The government it's practically making your borders so porous that other people are getting in. And if you see any one of these people, report them or tell your government that enough is enough. But all these excuses about you saying we're coming to take up your resources, we're coming to take your jobs and all that. To be honest, as someone that studied economics to a particular extent, it's not accurate. And I think that formed the basis of bulk of what I was talking about before. I am not trying to downplay anything that's been happening to South Africa. In fact, South Africa has huge problems. Nigeria has huge problems as well. There's other South African countries that have huge problems as well. Thank you.
I think it's my turn to talk, Habi.
Yes, please.
Yes, Agbo, please. Okay, Agbo, you can go, but I think sometimes keep the conversation balanced. I like to do when I'm moderating. I like to do South African Nigerian, so that we're going back and forth. So I think
Hey, if you want to do South Africa, Nigeria, please go ahead. I'll wait after the South African speaks.
okay.
Good.
So Windy, and then Agbo, and then Palesa, and then Crystal. You already spoke, right? So let me see if there's anyone waiting in this request section. All right, sorry, Windy, go on, please, and then Agbo.
Sorry, curated. I was the first one to speak, so I think Palisa is next.
Okay, fantastic. Palesa, go on, please.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello.
can hear you fine. Welcome to the live.
Thank you. The common Jorofina on panels. Yeah, so my own is that I agree with Papa. Our problem, guys, should be our government. You see about the march that is gonna happen tomorrow. I'm okay with that. I think that's what should be happening instead of fighting here alone on socials and everything, because all I'm seeing is just hate and hate and hate. If we have problem, our government is who we should be fighting with, not Nigerians. And I don't also understand if our people are fighting with Nigerians or they are fighting with foreigners, because if it's foreigners, it should be all foreigners, not only Nigerians. But what I'm seeing here is just Nigerians. Also with illegal immigrants, I don't know if it's also Nigerians only or the focus, I just don't know. I think the thing is about Nigerians. The main problem is Nigerians. And if you check, we're just fighting here online. Nobody's doing anything. These videos and everything you all are seeing, it's nothing. Our police officials are not working. They collect money for lunch. So I think this talking online is just not working. And not all Nigerians came here, guys, because they are hungry. My husband is not from a poor background. He is not poor. I'm not poor. I'm not with him because I was hungry. That thing should also stop. It's not nice to hear that we are with Nigerians because we are hungry, poverty, and what. No, it's not like that. Another thing is the biggest powder mafians are South Africans. the biggest people who do fraud are whiteys. So I personally don't mind any black person doing fraud because I know whites are the masters. And people who are doing fraud here in South Africa are mostly South Africans. Nigerians are focusing on outside. I'm not saying it's right, but let's shift our focus, guys. Our focus are just at the wrong place. I'm with a Nigerian, he's doing legit. He's legit. He's legit. He's legit. You can come to my, he's legit. He's doing legit. But I know there are also good Nigerians. Also, we should stop fighting here on TikTok as if we don't know Nigerians who are doing bad things, Congolese who are doing bad things, Ghana we live with them in our societies. We are doing nothing. Let's stop it. Let's just stop doing as if we don't know them. We talk with them. We laugh with them. This hatred is only online. Let's stop it. It's not nice. We know them. We live with them. We use same shops and everything. Just stop. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Palasa. Let's move on to Agbo.
Yeah, so for me, I have to be honest with you guys. Initially, when I wanted to make submissions here, I wanted to be a bit annoying, you know, I wanted to annoy some people, but I just hold back because, to be honest with you, this conversation has started becoming annoying. You know, you guys are going back and forth and having conversations about immigrants in 2024, where you have people talking about coexisting and people move. What I mean by people move, I'm not a tree. You didn't plant me. So if I'm moving to your place, to be honest with you, whether legal or illegal, people will move. You cannot stop it. Let me remind you guys quickly. During December in South Africa, the Zimbabweans want to go home for Christmas and they don't have transport. All they do is they go to your, what do they call that, this thing, and go and report themselves that they are illegal immigrants. They put them on buses and then they go home. They return them back, repatriate them. And after Christmas, they just cross the border and come back. So before you stop immigrants, even America, when they build that fence, that wall, they're trying to block people not to come into their country. It was all futile. You can't do it. Those things are not attainable. But what is attainable is strengthening your local laws, using technology, and making life easy for both citizens and non-citizens. To be honest with you, if we want to go back to antecedents, even the South Africans that are living in that South Africa now, they are not the original inhabitants of that place. Human beings move. You people move to that place. I'm not justifying crime. And if I say I'm not justifying crime, I'm saying if you get a criminal, prosecute the criminal. Any way best. If you think it is putting the person in jail, good. If you think it is deporting the person, go ahead and deport the person. Why are these things difficult? To make it easy for all of you, when you get to attack Nigerians, I have just one clip I'm going to play here, and I'm going to play that clip. After I play that clip, that will be my submission. If you guys don't mind.
Crime is crime. Let's deal with it as crime. When it is a white person in South Africa, undocumented, he's called an investor. Not only a white person, including Indians and Chinese. These Guptas didn't have proper papers here. These Guptas didn't have proper papers. No one dared called them Kwerekweres. No one. But if it was my African brothers, we're going to be called Kwerekweres because they don't have papers. Self-hate. It must come to an end. If it means making the EFF lose votes for that, let it lose votes. Lose votes on principle. Not on political expediency of wanting to appeal. This country belongs to Africans in the same way Nigeria belongs to South Africans. Nigeria is South Africa. South Africa is Nigeria. We are Zimbabweans. We need to do away with this nonsensical idea that was imposed on us by colonizers, by Theresa May ancestors, that we must dislike each other. We must do away with that. Theresa May is coming here to make sure that we continue to hate each other. Look at what we're doing now. We are reclaiming our land in South Africa, saying our people must get the land inspired by our brothers in Zimbabwe. Namibia is following. Let the whole of African continent follow and reclaim our land. That's how we're going to gain our independence. And through the ownership of the continental land, we shall then have a true one South Africa. We are unable to unite because we are divided along colonial lines, Francophones and Anglophones. We need to do away with that. We need to love our African brothers in America when they are being slaughtered, in London when they are being slaughtered. They need to know that we love them here in South Africa. They remain our brothers. Love each other everywhere else where you find one another. Protect each other, Africans, because we are in the receiving end.
Anyway, so the point Julius Malema was trying to make is the point that I share, and I'll keep sharing it. You don't see a black person and you think the person is taking your space or the person is taking your job. You're just being selfish and you are going for low-hanging fruits. If it's done in Nigeria, I'll be saying the same thing. If it's done in any other part of the world, I'll be saying the same thing. Why was South Africa being called out? Was because you guys took it to the point of taking people out of their houses, burning their shops, and killing them, unaliving them rather, on the streets, which is terrible. It's horrible, guys. If you are listening to me now and you are part of those cycle who unalive people for the sake of finding what to eat in your country, whether you think that's the best form or best approach to it, then it's sad. If you get somebody who is a criminal, deal with that person as such, prosecute the person, jail the person, and that's what is attainable in the 21st century. Any other person who is doing anything contrary, that person is completely delusional. That person is not being realistic, because you also have South Africans elsewhere. You have South Africans in Australia here. You have South Africans in every other part of the world. But you don't go, because you didn't leave your house doesn't mean that person doesn't leave. So stop saying we don't go anywhere. Nah, you're just being delusional, guys. I'm just being honest with you. And for Nigerians, to be honest with you, Nigerians have heaps of problems. There is no doubt about it. Anywhere they go, yeah, people point fingers. Oh, Nigerian, yeah. It's sad. I'm not trying to pamper Nigerians. Nigerians hell no, they have tons of issues to deal with. But that doesn't mean, or that doesn't license people unaliving people on the streets because they are immigrants, because they are foreigners in Africa. Now, I think that's way above all this conversation people are having here. And even the issue of the powder, which is the major main drain of the concern of this thing, it takes two to tango. If for any reason you even accept that, yeah, let it be that, oh, Nigerians are there and they're doing these things illegally, what about the people who are patronizing them? Because if it takes, it's market, it's business. If Nigerians are not there, or somebody else will do it. So are you guys telling me in a nutshell now that if you take away all the Nigerians from that part of the world, is it going to stop crime? I haven't even said that. South Africa is 60 million people. It's a rainbow nation. It's welcoming people left, right, and center. So if Nigerians go there and they make a living, I don't support illegal, but legally, let them so be it. But I see people, guys, here talking. They see a Nigerian driving a big car and then they are snapping and posting and saying, look, he's selling powder. It's not true. There are only 40,000, maybe 50,000 Nigerians. The last time I checked the Nigerian, the South African foreign website, there are 40, maybe 50,000 immigrants in that country. And you guys are 60 million and you can't deal with 40,000 Nigerians. Is that how big they are? You guys are really placing these Nigerians very high, eh? Honestly, how many people having lives and having conversation over Nigerians? Harima, they are setting South Africans up to drive away an innocent 21-year-old child away from that country because the lady wants South Africa, and then only for the whole thing to turn around for people to give it to a French a lady in the name of a Rainbow Nation. Come on, guys. We're bigger than this. We're in 2024. Let's be talking about a train running, a railway line running from Durban or from the Western Cape all the way to Mali. That's what we should be having conversation right now. And how we'll do road like the Chinese are doing. And how we're going to create jobs and all those stuff. That's what we should be talking about. How we make progress. That's what we should be having conversation about. We are young people having conversations about unaliving people on the streets. Come on, guys. I think we are all drinking. We are all drinking something here. Honestly.
All right, thank you so much, Agbo. We're going to go to Mofafeni. Please tell me if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Oh, he left. Well, I don't know why he left. Okay, guys, the floor is open for anyone, who wants to speak. User, you said Agbo was speaking for an hour. Well, he's done now, so if you want to come up and speak, the floor is yours. But yeah, anyone else on the panel who wants to, ask a question or just
Hi,
discuss. Hi,
Can I go, please?
that's cool.
Yeah. So, in addition to what Agbo said, there is something that has been happening recently in Africa that a lot of us have not been paying attention to, and this actually involves world politics as well. I tell people when I go on live to tell them that most African countries are still under colonial rule by these other colonizers, the West, especially when they said they gave us independence and all that. Most of these countries struck different agreements or just placed their own people, puppets, in different sectors and made sure that they keep us in perpetual, in perpetual level of poverty, illiteracy too as well. Now, let's give a close example. And this goes to show us how the media works, especially their news outlets and all that. For the longest time, I think that was years ago, we were made to believe that Gaddafi was a criminal and was also a terrorist. Now, until recently that I learned that man wasn't anything that he said was. In fact, the main reason why they unalived him was the fact that he was trying to unify Africa via a currency, a single currency that would be backed by gold instead of being backed by the Western currencies. That means it was going to be, and if that should happen, the West would totally lose a huge chunk of their powers and their influence over us. And that was why they unalived him. So some of these things, they happen in our countries, different countries. And I've come to realize that they also plant state actors to ignite issues. Something like this thing that we're discussing. In Nigeria, during our own last elections, what did they do? They turned people against each other. They made it a tribal thing. They said a particular president was from a particular tribe, so they were not trustworthy. They were all that, even though he was the most credible one amongst them. And eventually, they got their puppets to sit there. So what I'm saying is that Africans need to think, to look further, to actually, there's this magic rule that says, wherever you're looking, it's not where the magic is actually happening. We need to actually figure out our individual issues as countries and see what influence these people have over us. We keep going around about we're attacking each other, we are doing this, we are doing that, and that's what Agbo was just saying. We are the young minds of this country who have been led by a generation that has failed most of us. Africans are not meant to be experiencing this level of underdevelopment. They still call us third world countries as at date. So what exactly is the issues? You should focus on your issue. Find out what are those things that are holding South Africa down, for example. Believe me, your issues are not majorly even illegal immigrants. That's why I kept hammering on the fact that your governments are complicit in all these things. the plant state actors, whenever they need something done, they just bring up something, be it bigotry, be it using illiterates. Because if I understand clearly, I think South Africa currently has an unemployment rate of over 30%, which is insane. Nigeria too has a similar problem. We even have a wartime inflation rate right now, which is, it just came down recently, over 30%. The government is the one that is responsible for all these things, and we need to start making them accountable for all these things. I think, let me just leave the floor for other people to speak. Thank you.
Yeah, since the floor is open, I also want to mention one thing here quickly before I forget. When we talk about people committing crime, I think the biggest crime you commit, for me, is the one that you infect people with HIV virus. We are all suffering the consequences as I speak. There is a revelation. It's on live. I have clips here. I don't want to bore you with them. Where people, white South Africans, are admitting to the fact that they created centers and under the guise of treating measles and polio, were infecting people, South Africans, with HIV. Hence, we had this very large population of South Africans living with HIV. Have you guys forgotten what your colonial masters have done to us in Africa? Those ones living with you, 10 million of them done. Now, after I've said this, I know other people will still come up and try to tell me, oh, we are a rainbow nation, which I understand. I'm not saying you should kill them. I'm not saying you should unalive them, rather. But the point I'm making is, if you have all these antecedents and those things don't bother you, is it this other issue now, which I'm not undermining, but I'm also saying that, is it this issue now that we'll be having conversations about? Now, I haven't even said that. I also want to state here clearly that if anybody has any issue with any Nigerian living in South Africa, let that person go and remove the person. Let's see. I will put it to you. You can't even do anything. If I want to be angry, if I want to be honest with you, you can't do nothing. You cannot remove one single. The only person who can remove is the Nigerian is your authority, not you that is here with your phone. And then you be threatening people that you all. How many Nigerians will you unalive? You cannot unalive 10 million Nigerians. We are 280 as at the last census. 260 to 280 million people counted. Not the Fulanis in the bush. So what do you think you're going to do? You are here, you are threatening people, you unalive. You go to different platforms, they're telling you they unalive. Go to the streets and unalive them. Let's see if next week other ones won't come. Nigerians are like Chinese. If you watch the Chinese film in Africa, the more you unalive them, the more they keep coming. So what are you talking about? Do you think it's going to help? Come on, guys.
We are not saying we don't want Nigerians in South Africa. We are saying it should be done through the legal route. Like everything should be done legal. And we don't know where the Nigerians and we don't know where they get the drugs. We didn't say they get it from Nigeria. We said most of the Nigerians are the ones who are the drug lords. We don't know where they get it. So if they, as Papa said, they don't have the problem of the powder in Nigeria. So we also don't know where they get it, but we do know that they supply it. We do know that they sell it. And we just want, remember that if something happens in South Africa, if the economy goes down, South Africa is for South Africans. Where are they gonna go? Because the truth is, if it goes bad, all the Nigerians will go back at home. And where will the South Africans go then? Then they are left with their country. So that we are fighting to have South Africa for South Africans. And yes, everyone is welcome in South Africa as long as they do it legal. They are registered. So as you said, we have 40,000. You said 40,000, if I'm correct. You said 40,000 Nigerians in South Africa. Yes, those are the legal that went through the legal route. But now, how about those ones who just came, like they're not registered? We are dealing with this thing firsthand. Like we know what we are talking about. Because I feel like most of you guys are just talking in the comfort of your homes. You don't really know what we are dealing with. It's bad. It's bad. You can say whatever you say, but you don't really know what we are dealing with. We are dealing with this thing firsthand. So what we just want you guys to acknowledge what we are saying. And we just want you guys to acknowledge what you are saying and stop pinpointing, stop choosing from whatever you are saying, stop choosing what you think is the worst. No, we are saying a lot of things, and the most is the illegal part. Like, we are fighting for the illegal part. We are not fighting for the whole of South Africa. We are not saying no one is welcome in South Africa. Of course, everyone is welcome as long as you do it the right way. As I said before, I am from South Africa. I live in the Netherlands, and trust me, the process of applying for residence, it was not easy. I went through the whole process. Like, I had to do an exam in Dutch, which I don't know the language, but because I wanted to move, I went through all the process. So I'm registered, I have residency here. So why not do the same thing if you go to another country? Why can't you just go through the legal route? I don't think it's that hard.
And why do you think?
Hi,
Sorry,
Wendy.
Wait,
Okay.
Wendy. Why do you?
Wendy,
Why
can I please ask you a question?
do you think that
Yeah, Wendy.
Nigerians that are living in South Africa are not following the legal
Agbo,
route?
are you gonna let other people engage?
Wait,
Or are you just gonna be the only one talking?
wait, hold on. Wait, Bongi, hold on. Agbo, ask your question, then Bongi will ask a question.
So I wanted to ask her, how can you tell if you see two Nigerians? How do you tell this one is illegal and this one is legal when you are not the one responsible for that? Is not your job. How could you tell? That's a very simple question.
The simple question is that I think everyone who is not only Nigerians, everyone who is in South Africa have to be checked with the officials. So the reason we are making noise, as you call it, that we are only making noise on social media is so that we get attention from the officials, because we don't have the right to call out people, but we have our voice. So now we are using our voice so we get the attention from the officials. And of course, I cannot tell who is official or not, but they have to be checked.
Exactly. That's why I said it's not your job. It is not your job. Leave the job
It
for the
is
person
not
whose
my
job.
job, but I am
Curated,
using my voice to get attention.
Wait, Bongi, just hold on.
really.
Bongi, just hold on. Just
No, like Agbo is the one that's always engaging, and we can't
yes,
engage
Bongi,
on this
Bongi. If
panel.
you're allowed to engage, like just hold on, please. Let's not just start
Okay,
anything,
I think
please.
Akbo left, so
Yeah,
Bongi can
he's
ask
left
your
now.
Yes,
question.
So
Wendy, I wanted to ask you a question that when you're applying to live in the Netherlands, did you already have a plan that when you get that side, did you already have a job offer, or you just decided that you just wanna leave South Africa and go live in the Netherlands?
I have a Dutch partner, so my partner is from the Netherlands. We met in America. I was working on a cruise ship, so we met, and then now we wanna have a life together. So I moved to Netherlands on a partner's visa.
Okay, thank you so much. That's what I wanted to understand, because in most cases, when we are fighting such cases, is because people come to South Africa with study visas. These study visas get expired and they don't go back to their country to renew them. People end up actually working with these study visas, and which is something that's not allowed because South Africa doesn't have a dual visa. People come here to visit and end up not leaving the country and end up bringing other people from their country, bringing their families to South Africa, not the legal way, which is why South Africans are having a problem with. Why this is why South Africans are having a problem with all of it, because this is how it ends up not being South Africa not being able to take control of what's actually happening in our countries because of all of these undocumented people that are here. And it's not just Nigerians. We have people from Mozambique that are undocumented in our country, people from Zimbabwe that are undocumented from our country. So we just have a big problem that's happening in our country. And I
I truly believe that you can't just hold one person accountable, which is we can't just say that it's the government's fault. I mean, if you as a citizen of another country coming to another country trying to get into that country illegally, it's still a problem. What you're doing is very wrong, and which is the person the government official is also very wrong of giving out the people at the borders are also very wrong of allowing people to come in our country without being legal. I'm not just saying that foreigners are the only problem, but both the people at the borders and our government should be held accountable for what's happening. And I'm so glad that us talking on these socials and us speaking our minds and telling people about our problems is actually getting our government to actually do something, because our immigration system is actually working now. Our immigration is actually at work because they've found so many people that are here, Sorry, I got disrupted by something. They actually found so many people that are undocumented that are working for these restaurants. And I'm pretty sure if they had to dig deeper, they would. If they had to dig deeper and actually go to these buildings that people are always talking about, they'd find so many illegal people living there and people squatting there. It's not a matter of we have hatred towards a certain country or whatever. It's not. South Africans are addressing every issue that we have in our country. It's just that I guess Nigerians just prefer engaging with us more than other countries.
All right, thank you,
Can I say
Bongi.
something?
Yeah, I think Papa Jasco wanted to say something, and then Peace, you can go.
Let me just quickly say something.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so Bongi, I'm sorry. Did I pronounce it well, Bongi? What I'm going to say to that is.
Where should I brought the? Yeah.
Sorry. Hi, Peace. Hi, Peace.
Sorry.
Please go on first. Please go first. I will speak after you. Please go first.
Okay, so I wanted to just recommend her, but then again, she just said the point that I didn't like at the end. Anyways, let me just recommend you. You see how you made your statement, you address immigrants generally. People come to your country, they school, and they refuse to go back, stuff like that. So when you guys are engaging online and you say people, immigrants, illegal immigrants, they don't want to leave your country, they don't want to do this one, it's okay. But when you go online, you create a live section and you're talking about Nigerians, and then you're saying Nigerians engage you guys more. We would definitely engage you guys. We would definitely talk back. We would say, no, what you're saying is wrong. You're talking about a country that harbors millions of people, not to even talk about the ones that are outside of the continent. We are repping Africa everywhere we go, so you have no right to generalize and stereotype Nigerians. So when you come on here and you address us with this manner, I love it. I respect you. I will give you your accolades. Yes, I think the government, even in Nigeria, the biggest challenge we have is our government, and we keep calling them every now and then. The last election we held in Nigeria was a boomerang, was a melting point that brought the youth attention, because for so long it's like we didn't care about what the governments were doing and they'd be sapping us dry. But ever since we had our last election, it was an eye-opener. Okay, it's about time we pay more attention to what these guys are doing. And we've been speaking. I am so passionate about my national issue, the way you're passionate about this whole immigrant issue. But my problem is the constant stereotyping of Nigerians. Baby, I won't take it. I won't like it, because you're tarnishing my image, the image of my children unborn. Do you understand me? I don't like it. I would not condone it. So definitely Nigerians will also open a section and also counter back. So we're people you can't banter and then we go low. No, if you go lower, we will go low because we're made up of diverse people. There are people that are jobless. They have time. They will go low as you want them to go. They will be shameless as you want them to be shameless. But if you also want to talk to a class of people that are well informed, we're also here to entertain your plight or your plea or whatever the case may be. Do you understand me? So when we come on platforms like this, let's address the matter generally, because you're talking about immigrant. You have an immigration issue in your country. So do not, carve out and pick on a particular set of people and expect that those people keep quiet and those people are Nigerians. No, it's not possible. So when you say, oh, Nigerians are the ones that decide to engage, it's because it's affecting us, it's affecting our person, we're deeply hurt because we don't even know the state of our brothers there. Like I said, if you catch them, okay, for instance, we see two Nigerians walking on the street of South Africa or walking on the street of Johannesburg, and they are both documented. But because of the hate that is spreading online, everybody, I assume, because in Nigeria, everybody, even a truck driver, has an Android phone, is well informed, is online, they have the access to data. I don't know if it's like that in South Africa. So when you spread this hate and stuff, it goes even to in fact, it spread even like wildfire. So the uneducated one will pick on it, will run with it, and anywhere they see someone that looks like a Nigerian, they don't want to know if the person is documented or not. They just say, oh, this person is undocumented. Then you unalive someone that is documented, that is okay, and probably that came there just to work and was planning to go back or something. I don't know if this scenario I'm painting is okay. But when we address the matter as civil as it can be, then we will have a civil conversation. That's my take. So I love the way you took on the matter. You talked about your government, you talk about immigrants in general, and the fact that it's a problem that needs to be addressed. We also acknowledge the fact that we have some brothers that are everywhere in the world illegally. Yes, I am addressing that fact. I am acknowledging that fact. It's not just in South Africa. Everywhere in the world that you find 2 or 3 Nigerians, there might be one that might be there illegally. So if you can find that person, deal with him squarely and not generalize or assume that every Nigerian is the same. That's my take. So when we're addressing an issue as sensitive as this, let's make sure that we're objective about it and not generalize, not stereotype it. It's really, really bad. The hate will go a long way, and it's difficult to remedy it. That's just all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Peace. I think Bongi and Christella wanted to go. Bongi, do you want to go first? And then Christella would go after you.
Christella can go first because she had already asked in the comments.
All right, Christella, would you like to go?
Right. Thank you, Bongi. Thank you, Curated. Peace. This conversation is between Nigerians and South Africans. The reason why we keep on saying Nigerians is because this discourse is around Nigeria and South Africa specifically. But if you want us to say immigrants in general, then we have to introduce other things, because if we were to include Somalians, Somali people, yeah, I think Somali, they are selling products that are expired. That's a different issue. Zimbabweans have their own issue. But right now, for the interest of this conversation, that's why we're sticking to what Nigerians are predominantly doing in South Africa that we are witnessing firsthand. I'm a South African living in South Africa. And this thing of also having, I don't want to say you guys, but whenever we are having an argument, you keep saying that, but the white people this, the white people that. Unfortunately, when the immigrants from Africa are coming here, they're not targeting the whiteys. Unfortunately, it is us who get to suffer. The schools that have a lot of, like, the influx where South African kids can't go, it's the poor, disadvantaged Black South Africans. There's rules for private schools, and unfortunately, not every one of us can go there. So that's why we are fighting. And there is a thing called citizen arrest. That's why we are sometimes taking the law into our own hands. I'm not condoning the unaliving and the extreme stuff, but if you can remember, let me sit comfortably. If you can remember,
Sorry, Christella, can I ask you a question? What is a citizen's arrest?
it is when you see that.
Curated, can you please just let her finish and then you ask her when she's done?
No,
Because she's gonna get disrupted and she'll forget what she wanted to
Bongi,
say.
just hold on, please. Christella, what's a citizen arrest, please?
No, she forget what she wanted to say.
She will not forget. She's an adult. She had
thing.
her point. She's already given her submission. Allow her answer the question, Bongi. Please stop trying to be disruptive. Christella, please, what's a citizen's arrest?
Can you still hear me? Sorry. If you suspect,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, please, what's a citizen's arrest?
if you suspect that a person is committing a crime, you have a right to go and investigate, especially as a South African, what is happening. Obviously, you need to be safe and not be infringing on a person's rights. But the way that the thing with Chidima, where we were asking questions, we were within our rights. But how did the rest of the people perceive it? That we were being the X word. So imagine if we are gonna go into the actual context of arresting people because they are committing crimes.
So my question is, how does a citizen's arrest work?
You can detain a person and then report them to the authorities, or hold them and hand them over to the authorities when they get there.
Okay, the reason I ask is because, yeah, you're right. That's what citizen's arrest is. So you can detain someone and wait for the authorities to come, but that's not the same as taking laws into your hands. So I just wanted to create that distinction.